Just out walking with Paddy. It's a lovely day. I'm not quite sure what the temperature is. I think it's about 11 degrees. But I've been listening to all the birds. Now I've said that, I've come to a quiet spot, but there was loads of them earlier. Oh, Paddy, sorry. Yeah, it's sad to think that I was listening to the news and they were saying that in the last 50 years we've lost up to 38 million British birds due to climate change and farming practices. We're on the home straight now. I do a lot of my thinking when I'm out walking. So I think what I'll do is when I get home I shall make a cup of coffee and go and sit in the summer house. And I'll do a little catch up with you all. There won't actually be any gardening today because there's not a lot going on, but I will explain some of the things that should have been in the pipeline but aren't anymore. And what's ahead of me. But yeah, I'm just going to finish this walk, listen to the birds again as they're all chattering away in the bushes, and I'll see you in a short while. Welcome back. So we're right at the very end of January, and I think it was in October. So I've explained before, I had some quotes to help me change the garden round a bit. Wasn't able to get it done because the people were so busy. I had so many jobs to do that they were fully booked, and they said it wouldn't be till after Christmas, and I've still not heard back from them. My boy that's got his own he's a tree surgeon, he's got his own business. He didn't think initially that he'd got much work in January, would probably be able to help me, but that's all changed. He's chock-a-block now. Seems to be always in demand, which is absolutely brilliant for him, but he just hasn't got time. So all the plans I had throughout the winter months to replan the garden, I think, to be realistic, I'm just going to have to abandon them this year because I'm never going to be done in time. A few years ago I would have tackled it all myself, but I just don't have the energy or the strength to do some of it. Not such a massive project now, could do little jobs. I'd have to hire, I think they're called a bench saw, you know, the rotary blade on a bench, to cut all the sleepers, because I've only got a hand saw. That's no good. I've got to move an apple tree. I wanted to move the summer house from one side of the garden to the other, literally rearrange the whole garden, and I thought that I'd be able to record it all and would have a series of videos showing the progress, but it's just never happened. And like I say, I'm running out of time now. We're almost into February, so I think I'm going to cut my losses and risk it again. For those that are new to my channel, the last couple of years I've been plagued with a virus in the garden that's just attacked everything, and I followed all the advice to try and stop it spreading. But what I hadn't factored into it is that Paddy, my little dog, where he roams around the garden weaving in and out the plants, and that, he's the one that's actually spreading it. So I had planned to have what I class as proper raised beds with sleepers that were going to be about 18 inches high, so that would be above him, to isolate each plant or set of plants or crops so that he couldn't spread the disease. But yeah, I'm just going to have to risk it this year and find other ways of trying to prevent it spreading. I went out to lunch yesterday with my friend Ellen, and again, if you've watched my channel, you would have seen myself and Ellen at the NEC last year when we went to Gardeners World Live. She said to me, well, why don't I come over and spend an afternoon with you, and we'll see what we can do to maybe split up the beds in a way that you can protect each plant from Paddy wandering. So probably netting or fencing, or I don't know what. I haven't got a clue yet, but yeah, I need to get my thinking cap on. So I'm going to finish my coffee because I'm very conscious of just waffling on. It's not what people want. They want to see the garden. So this is really a very short video. I'll show you quickly the garden. It's just horrendous, but then most gardens are this time of year. The greenhouse, nothing's going on in the greenhouse. I have got some onion sets that I put in there, I think back in October. Normally I would sow them in the ground, but because I thought back then that I'd be disrupting all the beds to create the new garden, I put them all in cells and put them in the greenhouse. Of course, because nothing's happened, I could have actually put them in the ground after all, but that's the way it is. But my youngest boy has moved back home, and I've got loads of his stuff in my shed and in my greenhouse, so I've got a lot of tidying up to do and reorganising, so we're in a bit of a muddle at the moment. So there's nothing to show, and I do apologise for the lack of videos, but I'm thinking now that in the coming weeks the garden is slowly coming back to life, and with my friend Ellen spending the day with me in the garden, we'll have something to film. So I'll show you a quick look at the garden. Please don't be horrified, and I'll see you all soon. So the first thing to show you is the rhubarb. That seems to be coming back to life. So it's peeking through. So that's lovely to see. Some chives peeking through now. And I have a primula that's starting to show its little buds. So that's new growth. I thought I ought to show you what's in the greenhouse. I've just had to clamber over all sorts of stuff, including an exhaust from a motorbike, which you wouldn't really expect in a greenhouse, but there you go. So these are the onions. The soil has dried out, but the bulbs themselves are producing it, or providing enough moisture for growth. But if I water them now, it'll just go all mildewy. There are sweet peas, and then I've got red onions and some garlic. Some are coming up, but not a lot. But really that's all there is in the greenhouse at the moment. Just an overview of the garden. There's a lot needs, all the dead growth needs cutting back and tidying up. But there's really nothing to show.